Have you ever felt your heart pounding before something important, only to have that feeling spiral into a flood of negative thoughts coming straight from your inner critic? It's something we all experience, often from a young age. Here's an example. I was teaching a group of kids just before their first belt test. They were all tense and worried. One kid said, "Sabonim, I'm so nervous I can't think straight. I don't know if I can pass." Looking around, I saw many of them felt the same way. Then I shared something that changed everything for them. I knew that if I could change what they were focusing on, I could change how they felt. You see, any nervous feeling you have has the same physiological effect as excitement. Your body can't tell the difference. So I asked them, "Are you excited about earning your new belt?" They all said somewhat timidly, "Yes, sir." So I told them, instead of focusing on being nervous, focus on the excitement you'll feel when you earn your new belt. Can you do that? They all shouted, "Yes, sir." And guess what? Every single one of them passed their test that day. Here's what's key. It's not your feelings, but how you label them that makes all the difference. That fast heartbeat and buzzing energy inside, like I told those kids, it's the same whether you call it nervousness or excitement. The label you give them helps your mind decide whether your thoughts spiral you out of control or allow you to use that energy that it gives you to move you in the direction of your goals and dreams. Hi, I'm Wil Dieck, college professor and longtime martial artist. And today, we're talking about how to shut down self-sabotage in the moment. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you a 5-minute emergency tool you can use to flip that switch when your inner critic attacks. Here's the real problem. Your inner critic is like having a bad sabonim or sensei in Japanese in your head. Instead of building you up, it keeps you stuck in the same old patterns. Imagine you're getting ready for a first date and that old familiar voice chimes in. They're going to see right through you. You know you're not interesting enough. Or maybe you're about to speak in front of a group and it says, "You know, everyone's going to be judging you. You're going to mess up and look foolish." Because of the way you're wired, your brain is going to automatically treat these moments like threats. But guess what? You can change how your brain sees them. It's called reframing. Picture your old car finally dying after years of use. Sure, it's sad, but you realize that repairs are going to cost too much. So you're going to have to buy a new car and start making payments. This is a problem, and it's going to focus your mind on everything that's wrong with buying a new car. But you can use reframing to change this. Let's think of some positive aspects of buying a new car. It saves money on gas. It has cool tech and more space for passengers in the back and less backseat fighting. Suddenly, you've shifted your focus from what's wrong to what's possible. This shift from problem-focused to opportunity-focused thinking is known as reframing and can become one of your greatest superpowers. One thing most people miss is your limiting perspective can become so entrenched over time that we mistake those ideas for truth. You've believed something for so long it feels like reality and you're stuck. But you can use reframing to change this. Now, this isn't about slapping on some rose-colored glasses. Reframing must be realistic, not just optimistic. You're not changing the facts. You're simply changing the meaning or context of an event. You can't change what happened, but you can modify how you hold it in memory. So here's the 5-minute reset that changes everything. In step 1, you're going to interrupt the pattern with what I call 4-4-6 breathing. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, and exhale for 6 through your mouth. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Think of it as your body's built-in calm button. Do this 3 times. Your heart rate drops, your shoulders relax, and that fight or flight response starts backing down. Now here's where most people stop. But you and me, we're just getting started here. In step 2, you're making a memory modality shift. This is an NLP technique that rewires how your brain processes information. Think of a happy memory, maybe a vacation, an achievement, and time with family, whatever it is. You got it? Now, make that memory bigger and brighter in your mind. Pull it in closer to you. Feel the warmth. Hear the sounds more clearly. Spend 30 seconds really living in that moment. What just happened? You shifted your brain's operating system from threat mode to resource mode. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between a vivid memory and reality. So you just gave yourself a shot of the good stuff, dopamine, serotonin, and all those other feel-good chemicals inside your brain. In step 3, you're going to reframe the current situation using what psychologists call cognitive reappraisal. Take that first date scenario. Instead of "they'll see right through me," try "this is a chance to connect with somebody new." Instead of thinking about bombing, think about the presentation as an opportunity to share something I care about. But here's the key. Your reframe has to be something your brain can actually accept. You can't go from "I'm terrified" to "I'm amazing" in just one jump. Your inner critic will look right through you and it's going to laugh at you as well. So instead, you need to find the bridge thought. For example, "I'm nervous and that means I care about doing well." In step 4, you're going to install the new perspective with what I call a working sentence. This is a phrase your brain can hold on to when the critic tries to take over again. Something like, "The energy I'm feeling is my body getting ready to perform." Or, "Butterflies means I'm about to do something that really matters to me." Let me walk you through both scenarios using all 4 steps. For the first date jitters, do your 4-4-6 breathing. Access that happy memory. Make it vivid and close. Now reframe. I'm not being judged. I'm exploring a potential connection. Your working sentence can be something like, "My nervousness shows I'm taking this seriously, and that's attractive." For your public speaking panic, use the same breathing pattern and the same memory boost. Now reframe using, "The audience wants me to succeed. They showed up to learn something from me." Your working sentence can be, "This energy that I'm feeling is excitement about sharing something valuable." You can try this right now with whatever's making you anxious. And whatever it is, look at it. Did you feel that shift? Now here's a common mistake everybody makes. They try to argue with the inner critic. "You're wrong. I'm good enough. I can do this." That's like wrestling with quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Instead, you're redirecting that energy. Think of it like martial arts. You don't meet force with force. You redirect the attack and use its momentum against itself. Your anxiety becomes excitement. Your nervousness becomes preparation energy. The beauty of this system is speed. Once you practice it a few times, you can run through all 4 steps in under 5 minutes. I've had students use this in the bathroom stall right before a job interview, in their cars before difficult conversations, even during the conversation itself when they feel that critic starting to whisper in their ear. But here's what makes it stick. You're not fighting your brain's natural responses. You're working with them. Your body is already producing energy. You're just changing the story about what that energy means. The 4-4-6 breathing calms your system. The memory shift floods you with positive neurochemicals. The reframe gives your conscious mind something constructive it can focus on. The working sentence becomes your new default. When pressure hits, and the more you practice this sequence, the faster it works. Your brain starts to recognize the pattern and automatically begins shifting before you even finish that breathing pattern. It's like training a new reflex and like practicing martial arts. The more you do it, the more automatic it becomes, except this one serves you instead of sabotaging you. Now let me address why this actually works. You're not fighting old neural pathways, you're training new ones. Every time you run through this sequence, you're literally rewiring your brain. Research from the National Institutes of Health show that cognitive reappraisal, exactly what we're doing with this tool, actually changes your brain physiology and reduces the cognitive cost of managing emotions. The old critic pathways are still there, but you're building superhighways that go around them. Here's what to expect. Your inner critic might actually get louder at first. Don't panic. That's just the old habit fighting back. It's like when you try changing your grip in tennis. It feels wrong before it feels right. Your brain is used to running the same old anxiety program, and suddenly you're asking it to do something completely different. The key to successful implementation here is consistency. Use the memory exercise daily, even when you're not anxious. You're strengthening those positive neural pathways so they're ready when you need them. Think of it like doing bicep curls. You're not building muscle for the gym, you're building it for your real life. And here's the most important thing to remember. You're not changing your personality. You're changing your response pattern. That anxious part of you, it's just trying to protect you. We're just teaching it better ways to do the job. The inner critic's always going to show up. That's not the problem. The problem is when we let it drive. With this tool, you're going to stay in the driver's seat. Want a complete system? I've got a free course called Silence Your Inner Critic that walks you through advanced techniques that gives you practiced scenarios. The link's in the description below. Remember, you can't stop that voice from showing up, but you can absolutely stop it from driving. Next time that critic starts whispering, you know exactly what to do. Oh, one last thing. Just hit subscribe for more brain-boosting hacks that take minutes but change everything. It's an easy and free way to support us, and you'll boost your brain power along the way. Until the next time, this is Wil Dieck wishing you only success. And remember, you can redirect that inner critic's energy into rocket fuel for your goals and dreams.